Hi guys, so today we're just gonna do something a bit different again, fitting with something new every time. So it's another PC build. This time I'm gonna do like a full China build. Basically all the parts I bought from this online marketplace in China, called Taobao. And they do sell lots of different stuff, and they have a lot of like China brands which I think basically they refurbish used stuff and sell them as new again and rebrand them as certain China brand names which you've never heard of, and even a lot of new stuff which is produced and manufactured in China. They use the same material, but I can't tell for sure. I've tested to see whether it works, and yeah, it's basically a basic build and just for experimental purposes. So it's based off a Xeon processor. It's small cores, great for a combination of like content creation and gaming. Yeah, hopefully we'll try to achieve that golden 60 FPS mark again for titles, and we'll try to optimize it as much as we can to keep the price low and yet have good gaming performance. But we may have to see what kind of graphics settings we have to take to make that happen. So at the end of the video I will be like benchmarking it, and eventually of course I will be trying to sell this guy since I have no need for this PC. And yeah, so now just let me start introducing the parts. Alright, so here goes. At the heart of this guy is the Hornet X794M motherboard. It's an MATX motherboard that supports the Xeon processors, basically. Comes in a very simple box. That color theme is the black and gray, and it comes really nicely installed the processor right there. I believe the processor is used and the motherboard is a bit suspect, but well, as you can tell, the connection looks really good, so it doesn't matter. As long as it works, we're fine. A really simple looking silver L shoe. Comes with just one SATA cable. And I've ordered just 8GB of RAM. This only supports DDR3, and these are rated at 1600 MHz. And of course I went for dual channel, but just 8GB. For today's standard, basically this is like the bare minimum you should get, I believe. Graphics card, from what it was advertised and from the comments, I believe it's a used mining card. You can't choose the brand. Basically, once you order, they'll give you a random brand. But I got a sneak peek of it through the packaging. It's a FX branded, rather aftermarket GPU with this real wonky looking red fence with the black background there, and there's no backplate. It's kind of disappointing, but it's still black, so that's still fine. And there's some kind of XFX branding right there. So this guy accepts 8-pin PCIe power and looks to be just about 1.5 to 2 slots wide, and there's not really any visible signs of corrosion. I haven't said the important point. This is a RX 580 204 SP. From what I researched, it's not exactly a RX 580, but it's a RX 570 in disguise, clocked to higher clock speeds. So it's kind of more towards the RX 570 than RX 580. And this guy has 4GB of RAM, which should be plenty fine for the system we have here. This Xeon E5 2640, 6-core 12-thread. Base clock is 2.5 GHz and boosters to 3 GHz. I really hope that this is sufficient for gaming in today's age. Otherwise, I guess I screwed up. And what's good about this guy is that it comes with a aftermarket cooler, which I really appreciate. Looks real basic, and the color combination, well, is suspect. It's definitely not to my taste, but I will use it because it's free. It's Hornet branded as well. I can see that it comes with a push-pull dual fan configuration. just like that. Like I said, real basic cooler, but it's much better than any stock cooler that I have there, with that clip-on style, just like the snowman. And the weird thing is that this guy, requires 2 3-pin, so basically there's no kind of 4-pin PWM control, and it takes up 2 slots, or rather 2 fan connectors in a motherboard. So that's kind of a shame, but we should be fine, because the fans we got for this build right here, it's Molex, so we definitely have sufficient fan slots, or rather fan expansion headers there. For power supply, we have this Eve Sky 600 watt unit. I got a higher power rated unit because I don't really trust this China PSUs, although the reviews are pretty good somehow. So I actually went ahead to read up on more on the power consumption and the rating of this. So there's no 80+ rating at all, but reading from the power chart right on the PSU right here, it says on the 12 volt line, you can see here 400 watts right here. So I guess that's still plenty sufficient for our needs. And yeah, I know guys, ketchup and mustard all around, but I don't really care, this is cheap. This guy only goes for how much do you pay for this? It's only 16 bucks Singapore dollars. So yeah, we can't really complain too much at this price point. And we have this. We got a SATA SSD. I decided to just go with 1 hard disk. So I got a 500 GB SATA SSD here by Hajedi. The customer reviews were pretty decent. And this guy cost about 67 Singapore dollars. For 500 GB, it's really pretty decent. This of course a real cheap case as well, coming in under 40 bucks. With RGB LED. 4 of those RGB LED fans. Alright, let's just skip right ahead. And then clam style cooler. Alright, just press down on this guy. Alright, there we go. That's installed. Plug in the fan headers. There's 2 fans. These fans don't have a 2-in-1 plug, so we're just gonna plug it in the individual headers. That's fine because the fans that we're gonna be using are Molex, so it isn't such big of a deal for us. Just plug it in like so. Okay, and then we're gonna install this to the case. Alright, and then we'll install that I/O shield. Just gonna punch this guy right in here. Just shove it in, make sure it snaps into place. See, I'm just struggling to put in this I/O shield, guys. God damn it. This should be a simple thing. Okay. Seems to be doing good here. Alright, it's in place. Right, next we're gonna install that SSD and drive kit right here. It's held on by a thumb screw, and then I believe you just pull it out this way. Whichever way. Alright, there you go. And screw it on and put it back there. Right, we pop this bad boy right on, like so. Put the thumb screw on. That's it. Looks good right there. And I suppose we put on the PSU and then finally the motherboard. So let's go. Alright, that's the PSU. This feels weirdly light. It's a power supply non-modular by Eve Sky. Nice yellow fan. Remember to put that facing down so as not to suffocate the power supply unit. So meaning something like that will do. So we stuff this guy in like so, and then we secure the power supply onto the chassis. And now we put on that motherboard. Fit it in right here. And just bloody hell screw it on. Alright, that looks fine. So this bit I should have done first. Now the motherboard might be in the way a little bit. I want to snap off two of this PCI Express slot covers right here to fit that GPU. That's fine. Alright, snap it off like so. Often with these cheap cases, it will snap off. It's easier to manufacture, I suppose. Right, now we do the heartbeats. I think first we put in, what I call it, front panel connectors. That's the worst. These guys right here. Yeah, I mean these pesky connectors right here. I'm just not gonna show this because it's just very hard to get in. It's a pain. And it's far too dark and too small for you guys to see anything, but you get what I mean. Just follow the instructions on the motherboard and get this guys plugged in. That's out of the way. We're gonna get the rest of the connectors in and just plug everything in. Alright, these guys, the front panel audio and the USB 2.0. Right, the CPU 8-pin. I know guys, catch on mustard. You get what you pay for. This guy is cheap, so you can't complain too much. Lastly, the 24-pin ATX. This supplies power to the motherboard. Come on, come on. Right here. USB 3.0. Just come down right here. Now we connect up that SSD to the motherboard. Boom. We fix this right here. Solder port is somewhere here. So just put it here, just like that. Yeah, I was right. Solder power is right there. Just plug it into any random one. Yeah, get it nearest. Orange one right here. Alright, it's in. Oh, get the graphics card in. Alright, here we go. Oh, damn. I'm ready to remove this PCI cover right here. Okay, nowadays I like to have this guy, which is mainly for vertical mounting of the PSU. We don't need this. Just gonna go with like cheap horizontal mounting. Alright, now we plug this guy in. Alright, easy. Alright, now we secure this guy on. Easy, so that it doesn't sag as much. That's it. We route the PCI power in and get it plugged in. Alright, we route it in through here. Seems to be the shortest path. Yeah, I'll do that. Right, that's that. And now, off to the worst part, the cable management. I really hate doing this, guys. I don't want to show you guys this. Just want to show you guys what happens after I tie up all the cables. Hope I can do this not in the service. Anyway, everything is always packed right here. As long as it goes with ease, I'm fine and everything works. So we'll see. I'll skip right ahead. Look at this, considering that it's a non-modular power supply, it ain't looking too bad in my opinion. And I've done worse. So still have lots to learn, but as long as everything gets hidden relatively neat and I can put the side panel back on, I consider it a win for me. So I have a real nice tip that I got from Bitwit on how to close this, especially for cases that don't have a lot of cable clearance. You just lay the case on its side, and then from there you can easily use both of your forearms to press that cover down and slide it in. Then it should be real easy to get into place. It's real easy to do. Just lay it on its side, smash this thing down like that. Make sure that you're not crushing any cables. So lay both your forearms down, slide in. Yeah, we're done. And you screw those thumb screws in. Perfect. I'm just gonna now ensure that this guy boots and get the installing Windows, and then we'll run some benchmark to see how this guy fares. A PC from Taobao Marketplace from China. I'm gonna be real sorry for the boot process part because I don't have a pass-through video capture device of some sorts, so I have to take it through directly to the monitor. And that monitor, the spam monitor that I have there, is reflective as you can see, so it's not a very nice experience looking through this lens for sure. Alright guys, as it turns out, somehow or rather, during like Unreal Heaven or random during gaming, the PC will just restart, and I suspected it's a PSU problem. So of course that Eve Sky catch unmastered power supply, even though it's 600 watt, is real junky, and decided to of course test out. I mean, this is Taobao PC build, so I'm gonna use a China product, and happen to have another Eve Sky 500 watt fully modded power supply. I guess it's just much more stable for some reason. After I swapped it out, everything just works fine, as you can see right here. It works fine with this unit, so I'm just gonna swap it out with this junky and weird guy right here. This is also weird as well, but it's fully modded and it works, so why not? Comes in this box. It's the Eve Sky 模组系列. It just means fully modded, that's all. Alright, so running through the benchmarks. For Cinebench, we got 1940, so this puts us between an i7 6700 and an i7 7700K. It's pretty decent for the money, let's say. Moving on to Unreal Heaven, this guy got 97.8 FPS in 1080p high presets, so that's about 8% lower than our previous potato PC, which achieved an FPS of 106.2. However, in actual gaming usage, we'll see. In Shadow of Tomb Raider at 1080p high, we're getting 62 FPS for this guy, whereas our previous potato PC is getting 60 FPS, so it's a marginal 3% increase right there. Moving on to Valorant, at 1080p high, all settings on, and MSAA 2 times as well, turn on. We're having an average FPS of 170.3, and this is a 9% increase over the previous potato PC, which gave us a result of 156.5. Lastly, in Modern Warfare 1080p high presets with anti-aliasing on, we got an average FPS of 87. This is about 12% higher than the previous results from the potato PC, which achieved an average FPS of 77.7 FPS. These numbers are nothing if you don't peg it against the cost. First off, let's highlight the cost differential. Our current build costs us $409, whereas the previous potato PC, mostly used parts, is $230. So we're spending 7-8% more here. But let's look at the numbers. So how we're going to do this is that we're going to divide the cost of the PC over the FPS for each game, and there we get the dollar cost per FPS there. So for Unreal Heaven, we're having a cost of $4.18 per FPS. This is compared to $2.17 for the previous PC, and that's a difference of 93% more there. For Shadow of Tomb Raider, our cost is $6.59 per FPS, compared to previously $3.83 per FPS, which is 72% more. For Valorant, we're getting $2.40 per FPS, compared to $1.47 per FPS, and that's a 63% increase over the potato PC. Lastly, for Modern Warfare, we're getting $4.70 per FPS compared to $2.96 per FPS. That's a 59% increase as well. So in total, if you're looking at things at this price point, I would say if you're already on a budget, nothing would beat used price performance. Getting an FPS difference between 3 to 12%, but paying 78% more, it's definitely not worth it in my books. If you really want new parts, well, so be it. Just to note, from what I understand, the GPU was ex-mining, it was refurbished, and the motherboard, although it's marked as new, I highly doubt so. When I installed Windows 10 Professional on it, basically the Windows got activated, so that's indicative that it's a used part. Someone installed Windows on it, because usually Windows is tied, or rather Windows serials are tied to the motherboards. If you try to install something on it and it gets activated automatically, it's indicative that it's a used motherboard. I really hope you guys liked my video, taking a step at creating a full Taobao gaming PC. It's really fun and a blast doing this. If you guys like more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. If you like it, give it a like and leave a comment down below if you have anything to ask me or have any suggestions. Till the next time, this is Asian Tech Guy, checking out.